Hello, beautiful people, and thank you so much for tuning in to my channel. My name is Jennifer Diamond, and I live a whole food, plant-exclusive, SOFAs-free, gluten-free lifestyle for health and well-being. And today I thought, why not take the scraps out and make salad? End of the week. Come along. So I need a salad, and I'm at kind of the odds and ends of what's in the refrigerator, and I started pulling out stuff and thought maybe you'd like to come along and make a salad. So the first thing I did is put together some different ingredients that we have. I have this beautiful dill from our farmer's market, and I've got some purple cabbage. I've got kind of a pear that looks like it's on its way out. A lemon, and part of a cucumber. This was a really long cucumber. It's part of this. I've got a few asparagus, and what else do we have in here? I've got a piece of cauliflower, a tomato that looks like it's on its way out, and another one, so a yellow and a green, and some red bell pepper, cucumber, there's the cucumber, and carrot, a couple of these little Brussels sprouts, onion, and then I've got garlic, ginger, and turmeric. So let's make a salad. The first thing I did was was wash everything, and I have some lettuce behind me, and these are just little butter lettuce leaves. I don't know if that's what they call them. I got these at the farmer's market. I think at the farmer's market they just called it green lettuce because they have red lettuce and different colors, but it reminds me of the butter lettuce because it comes in a little head. Anyhow, while that's drying, let's just start chopping. And you know what I think would be fun is to use this little guy here. This is sharp and I don't use it very often. But I think having the smaller slices would be really nice. And what I like about this particular one, I think, what is this called? A mandolin. I'm pretty sure this is a mandolin. So it's by a company, Borner, and I think it's a German-made company. What I like about it is that it's got this little push nozzle thing, push button, and so it allows you to adjust, and there's all these different adjustables, so you can kind of decide how thick or thin you want your slices. And I think I'd like to try to do it fairly thin, and this is like the little safety piece that I'll put the food onto, and then I know better, so I always wear my stainless steel mitt because I do not want anything to happen to my fingers. So I think what I'll do is start with some onion, and I'm just going to take some of the ends here off, and I'm just gonna put my glove on. There we go. I'm actually gonna arrange it this way and put a little pressure and get some thin slices of onion. So let's take a peek and see how that is. Wow, that's really thin, and I had scored it from another recipe, and so it's just coming out all diced, and that's perfect for me. So I'm gonna just do this onion, and if I go deep enough, it won't continue to make those little chopped designs because it didn't go all the way through. But I'm gonna go the other side. And there we have it. This little piece is left, and I will put this in my pile of scraps for making broth, which I'm hoping to do soon. So I want to get some of this cleaned up. There we go. And you can see where some of it starts to get more stringy because that's where I had not continued to cut through prior to slicing it. And so I'm just gonna give it a rough chop. And I might just take these two little pieces out and put them, the little end, and put that with my scraps for making veggie soup. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna give it a little bit more of a rough chop. Okay. And so, let's see here. Where is my little scraper? Oh. Okay. Next, I'd like to do some of this purple cabbage. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut this nice piece off, adding this to the scraps. And once again, slice it up. Now usually I like to just cut everything up, but sometimes it's fun to do things a little bit differently. Let's just see what that's looking like. Woo, that's looking pretty good. And I'm gonna turn it around, and it's starting to angle down. There we go. So this, I'll just hand cut. Nice, very nice. Okay, we've got some white, we've got some purple. I always try to create a rainbow when I make a salad. And I think next, I'm gonna do this little carrot. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut the very tiny edge off of both sides. Put that in my scraps. And this guy, let's see if I could do it this way. There you go. Yeah, that's working. That one could have gone in the scraps, but it went in my mouth instead. The benefit of cooking is you get to taste stuff. Okay, so now we've got our orange color. Wow, that looks great. And I think I'm gonna do these bell peppers next. Bell peppers. So I'm gonna kind of see if I could stack them. I'm not sure. No, I don't think it'll work. So let's see if I could get this to slice on its own. Otherwise, I'll have to hand slice this one. Yeah. Well, let's see. No, just a couple of them. All right, I'll see. It made some, and we'll just slice up the rest by hand, and that's okay too. All right, what is next? How about the cucumber? Just like the carrot, I'm gonna hold it and not use the handle. Yeah, that looks good. There are so many different types of cucumbers. Some of my favorites, or one of my favorites, is the Persian cucumber. It's just those little tiny baby ones. And even if I don't eat this whole thing at one meal, I'll have it ready to go. Wow, look at how pretty that is. Gosh, I love these thin little cucumber slices. I normally do it a lot thicker, but it's kind of cool to do it a little thinner. Mix things up a bit. All right, so now we've got our cucumber. And let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna set the mandolin aside. And I am going to work on the Brussels, or the asparagus. Now, I have seen people just cut this off because this end is a little bit tougher, but I also learned and saw before that you could take, I'll do it right now, a potato peeler and peel off just the bottom part. And it will make it a lot easier to eat if you just take off a little bit of that bit. And then I can just add this into my veggie broth stash. But you can also just, you know, cut it off. So if you haven't tried that, try it, see what you think. But just for sake of time, I think I'm just gonna cut these and use them. You could either cook them later, but I'm gonna put them in my little stash over here for making broth. And I'm just gonna make small bite-sized pieces. When I get to the top, I don't like to cut it up too much because then they don't hold. So I'll just maybe cut this one more time. And then, well, maybe that one. And then these, you know, I can't kind of keep this together so that it won't separate into a million little pieces. So there we go, that's that. And then maybe for the cauliflower, I'll just slice it up a little bit. And just have that going along here. That's kind of pretty. And then we've got the Brussels sprouts next. And, you know, I used to cut this piece off here at the very bottom, but I realized that it'll really fall apart. So what I try to do is kind of angle it a little bit, like on an angle there. And so this bottom part kind of keeps them together, the slices. It's not perfect, but it holds it a little bit better than if I had cut that bottom piece off. And so now you can see. But if you want it shredded, then, you know, that doesn't matter. You could put this through the mandolin and have it all shredded, which is great too. And we'll do one more. There we go. That looks really nice. And now I'm gonna take these guys out of the bowl, move this bowl over here. And next I'm gonna do the tomatoes. So this tomato is on its way out, but I still feel like I could get a lot of stuff out of it. So I'm gonna cut the top part off and just discard it into the veggie broth. It's kind of a juicy one. And I'm just gonna discard it, so pretty. And then I am going to try to slice this a little bit into a little bit thicker since it's kind of soft. There we go. And then maybe I'll just cut it into quarters. Now, if you're not going to eat this right away and you don't want all this juice and everything to be in your salad because it'll wilt, you can always put the wet stuff, either cut it as you go or put it in a separate container and then add it later on. And I think I'm also going to do this beautiful green one. I'm going to put that in my scraps. This one is not as juicy. Sure is pretty though. And this tomato is just an unripe red or yellow tomato. And I bought these also at the farmer's market, and I asked him, is this like not supposed to change? And he said, no, we just picked them a little earlier. And so this yellow one that we just cut was actually green, but I've had it a little bit, and so it turned yellow on me. And I think I have one more over here I'll show you. This is also was green, and it's turning red now. So I have one left that I'll use. But going back to what we have, just gonna cut up these green ones and add it to our salad. There we go. Okay, and let's see, what do we have left? We have the lemon. Okay, so I think next we're gonna do, we'll plate it and we'll start adding some of these last minute things once it's in the bowl. So hang on. I normally like to use different types of lettuce and mix it together. I do have some romaine that I haven't washed yet, so I might add some romaine if I find that all the lettuce is going and I still have a lot of, you know, these other toppings or condiments or whatever you want to call these, you know, the other vegetables. But for now, I'm just going to give this kind of a rough chop. And add this into the bowl. Nice. All right, so this is the base. And then literally we just start adding the color in. So here's the onion, which I just want to kind of sprinkle around. And some of the purple cabbage. And then we have the carrots, the peppers, and the cucumbers. We're just gonna spread that around and keep going. Build, build, build. And I'm gonna go ahead and put the wet tomato in there. But most of the time I would keep it out. Or sometimes I'll put it to one side. But I'm gonna go ahead and add it all today. All right, and then next I'm going to use, I think I'll just toss part of it now, even though it's not completely ready to be tossed for serving. I just kind of would like to mix the colors a little bit. Oh, it does not look delicious. So here you go. And then I'm going to go ahead and add some turmeric. This is fresh turmeric, and I'm just gonna just put some right in there. Turmeric is great for antioxidants also, and gosh, turmeric is a medicine. I mean, all of this, in my opinion, is medicine. Okay, whoa, splashy. All right, so. And then I've got some ginger, and I'm gonna also just get a little bit of ginger going on. Sometimes it sticks underneath, so I just kind of scrape it out. And then we could use the microplane, we could slice the garlic, we could use a garlic press. There's really so many ways to do it. I think I'm just gonna slice it thinly and add it. There you go. Put that all over. Yes, that's just raw garlic. And if you didn't have raw garlic, you could certainly use garlic powder or onion powder. The idea for me is just to use up what I have. So now I'm gonna take out this beautiful dill. Wow, I'm not gonna put all this dill in here, but I might dehydrate some of this. for future dried dill if I find that I'm not using it up fast enough. And for the salad, you know, I could just chop it. I have one of these scissors. If you've ever seen one of these herb scissors, they're fun. You know, this is a stainless steel scissor, and look at that, if you can see, it's got these little holes, you know, a bunch of different blades so that it's like cutting a bunch at once. So I think I will use some of that for the beginning of this. Let's see how this goes. And you can just see how it works. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Dill is so amazing. Gosh, I love the smell of it and the flavor that it offers. Now, I normally use all of it, but you know, I don't know that I want the stems in this today, so I might use the stems, dry them out, or add them to the broth that I want to make in the future. Let me see how that looks when I mix it up. Oh yeah. Cucumber and dill go together like, I don't know, peanut butter and jelly. I just think they pair together very well. All right. Now let me just rinse off my surface so we can get the last couple of things in here. We'll be ready to start plating it. This used to be our family serving bowl, but it's like single serving for me these days, so I'm just gonna put some in here. Look at that, yummy, yummy. Try to get really good looking amount in there, and even if I finish this and I want more, hey, that's okay, go get more. And then for the pear, I think I'm just gonna slice it. And now I might I could slice it on an angle, but yeah, let's slice it on an angle. That's fun. There you go. You know, if you find a piece that has a little bruise or you don't want it, you can eat it or toss it into your compost or whatever you'd like. But for me, I'm gonna go ahead and just arrange these pieces. Maybe I'll do it like this. Now, I could also toss this, just toss it all in, so we can look at those different ways. I think this is plenty for the salad. So here we go. This is one version, or we can get fancy and just kind of put it on top, mix it in a little bit. There we go. And lastly, I'm going to take the last fresh thing here, which is my lemon. And, you know, sometimes I might take the zest, and I'll do it now. We'll add a little zest to it. And you could do that with lemon, lime, any citrus, orange. Usually I would do it before I cut it. This is an organic lemon, so I'm good to use the skin. Add a little of this. It'll just give me a little bit more flavor. And here's my fork. And I'm just gonna literally squeeze that on there. There's a seed. And I got that little seed. There we go. Okay, so I could eat the salad just like this. Or I could take it a step further. And I could add some spices to it. So this is a container that says Mrs. Dash, but it's actually no salt seasoning from Costco. And I could just add some of that in there. I do like to use the Dulce flakes, and those are really good for iodine. And I've got some dried basil. I'll go ahead and sprinkle a little of that on there. What else do we have here? I've got some onion powder. I think I'm going to skip the onion powder because we put a lot of fresh onion, but I will add the oregano. And so that is going to give me a lot of flavor. And I have the lemon in there, but I'm going to add just a little sprinkle of the apple cider vinegar, maybe just a little like that. I guess that would be maybe a quarter of a teaspoon. And I really enjoy using the organic stone ground mustard, no salt added. And so I'm gonna put a little bit of that, just a little bit of that. Whoa, look at that. And I got crazy. All right, so I rinsed that off. And for me, I'm always concerned about my iron levels, so I'm going to add some seeds, pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds, and that's it. Let me grab those. I'll be using the organic raw pumpkin seeds, and I put anywhere from a tablespoon to 3 in a serving, but you know, I'm just going to eyeball 1 tablespoon for this. And this particular one, I got at Natural Grocer, which is a grocery store near us. They're organic pumpkin seeds. And I keep all my seeds and all my nuts in the refrigerator. Here's some sunflower seeds again from Natural Grocer. And I'm gonna add a little bit of that. Probably the same amount. Eyeball just like a tablespoon. So the point is, whatever you have, whatever like leftover stuff you have, don't look at it as 1 piece of cauliflower and 1 carrot or a half of this or that. Think of it as creating a rainbow. So thank you so much for tuning into my channel. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, hit the notification bell, and you will be notified when I go live or post new videos. Hit the like button and support me. Leave a comment. And for now, enjoy.